All right, fam. You know how hard it is to become a hunter these days? Everyone's out there grinding like crazy, fighting tooth and nail just to get into some basic academy. But check out our boy. He just randomly clicks a pop-up ad on his phone and gets pulled into a god-tier server to train with legendary heroes from history. Man's starting line is everyone else's finish line. So, how did this whole mess begin? Let's rewind 100 years. One day, the sky literally just shattered. Portals called dungeons popped up out of nowhere, and all sorts of monsters started pouring out. Humanity's modern weapons? Totally useless against these beasts. Just when all hope seemed lost, some people started changing. Their dormant abilities awakened, turning them into humanity's last line of defense. These were the Awakened. And these new heroes, the Awakened, they were basically celebrities. They fought back the monsters, brought order to the chaos, and became the rock stars of this new monster-filled civilization. As time went on, humanity got smart. They figured out how to artificially trigger these awakenings. Suddenly, becoming a hero wasn't just for the chosen few anymore. And that kicked off the Great Hunter era. Everybody and their grandma wanted to become a hunter. It got so popular the government had to step in with official exams and specialized academies just to manage the chaos. These academies promised to teach you everything you needed: combat, knowledge, you name it. They were the gateway to becoming a pro. And speaking of pros, let's flash forward to our boy, Seo Joon Kim, facing off against this absolute unit of a monster. Look at him go. He's not just surviving. He is dominating this beast. The raw power is just off the charts. This monster has no idea what it's up against. He winds up for a massive finishing blow, radiating that purple energy, and it's game over. Absolutely no contest. That's our boy for you. So how did a regular guy get this OP? Because he's not learning from regular teachers. His instructors are literal legends from history and myth. Atlas, Merlin, you name it. This is the Transcendent Academy. And his incredible journey was just getting started. It all began with him just registering for a class on his phone. A bit anticlimactic, maybe, but that's how legends are born in the 21st century. All right, let's dive in. So, let's properly meet our boy, Seo Joon Kim. Before all the legendary training, he was a 27-year-old orphan, working a dead-end job hauling monster carcasses for 9 years just to pay off his parents' debt. Life was tough, but even with the daily grind, he never gave up on his dream of becoming a pro hunter. The problem? You basically need to go to an academy these days, and the gap between those who do and those who don't is getting wider every year. After years of scrimping and saving, our boy finally scraped together enough for a year's tuition, a whopping 40 million won. He's feeling pretty good, and right on cue, a shady ad for the Transcendent Academy pops up. He's never even heard of it. Naturally, he thinks it's a scam, but the ad has these crazy testimonials talking about how it was the best decision of their lives. Our boy is just staring at his screen, completely bewildered by the whole thing. So he dig a little deeper, and the instructor list is just wild. Hercules? The Monkey King. He thinks it's a joke until he clicks on a demo video, and he sees the literal Sun Wukong teaching his legendary staff techniques. The sheer power behind those moves is mind-blowing. The final action: focus everything on one point and pierce. The demonstration is so intense, it looks like it's tearing a hole in reality itself. He's instantly hooked and tries to sign up. And then comes the punchline. The membership fee? 40 million. His entire life savings. You could just see the soul leaving his body as he counts the zeros. He immediately dismisses it as a high-effort scam and goes back to work, telling his buddy he's just going to enroll in the normal Arc Hunter Academy instead. Probably for the best, right? But life, as they say, is a tragedy up close. In a freak accident, a chain holding up a monster carcass snaps. Without a second thought, our boy pushes his friend out of the way and takes the full impact himself. He wakes up in the hospital, and the news is grim. The nerves in his leg are completely destroyed. The only hope is a surgery that costs, you guessed it, 40 million won. After some pressure, his company foots the bill, and his dream is once again shattered. Lying in his hospital bed, completely broke and defeated, that ad pops up one more time. But something's different. The membership fee, it's been massively discounted. With nothing left to lose, he just says screw it and signs up. The moment he does, a welcome message appears, and this tiny, floating creature phases right out of his phone screen. Our boy is freaking out, thinking he's hallucinating from the meds. But this little guy introduces himself as his personal mentor, assigned to guide him through the academy. To prove he's legit, the mentor casually drops that his first student was Odysseus. Yeah, that Odysseus from the myths. The fangirling is real, even for our boy. The mentor explains that this academy isn't just to make hunters. It's to create transcendents, beings who have broken the limits of humanity. He claims even the weakest instructor could flick a regular S-rank hunter into oblivion. His first task is an aptitude test designed to create a personalized curriculum for him. Seems pretty standard so far. But then he sees the questions. Can you level a plane with a thunder kick? Can you split a mountain with a single punch? Our boy is just sitting there like, are you serious right now? Seeing how stressed and weak our boy is, the mentor suggests he starts with a mental fortitude course taught by Siddhartha, as in the Buddha. Yeah, this academy is stacked. The class begins, and it's a total mindbender. The Buddha's lesson is full of philosophical riddles like, the world exists because of you and I do not exist. Our boy is completely lost, feeling like he's floating through a cosmic void, try to figure out what any of it means. This is way too deep for a beginner's course. But after that bizarre experience, he gets a notification. He's acquired a new skill, unwavering mind, SS rank. With his new mental strength, he's ready for his next lesson, taught by Chiron, the legendary centaur who trained heroes like Hercules and Achilles. Chiron starts out all calm and wise, talking about the journey of a hero, and then he just explodes, screaming at our boy to get his ASS up and move right now. The poor guy is so shocked, he drops his phone. And with that, his daily assignment drops. A 30 kilometers run, 1,000 squats, 300 push-ups. This training regimen is absolutely brutal. Our boy thinks he can just wait until he's discharged, but nope. The system keeps spamming him with alerts. He can't take any other classes until he finishes the assignment. From dawn till dusk, the notifications just won't stop. The persistence is real. And to make matters worse, he discovers there's a time limit on the courses. He only has 83 days left. The pressure is officially on. He tries retaking Siddhartha's course, but his progress is stuck at 1.3%. With the clock ticking, our boy starts to panic, wondering how he'll ever finish in time. With no other choice, he decides to tackle the insane workout. Luckily, 9 years of hauling monster carcasses gave him a solid foundation. 300 push-ups? He grits his teeth and powers through. But the rest of the workout is just on another level. After finishing everything else, he completely collapses on the pavement, screaming that he can't do it anymore. The onlookers are just staring, thinking he's lost his mind. Meanwhile, the news reports that a 4-star monster appeared downtown, but was quickly taken down by a pro hunter. And the disposal company handling the cleanup? It's our boy's old workplace. An old lady overhears that he's an awakened and starts chatting him up, mentioning that the hero who took down the monster was a student from the prestigious Gown Hunter Academy, an academy founded by the legendary Sword Star. But some random jerk overhears them and starts mocking our boy, telling him to give up because just working out won't make him a hunter. That hits a nerve. All the frustration from the past 9 years boils over, and CO Jun just snaps. After getting pulled away, our boy just runs for it, a new fire lit inside him. He's determined to prove that guy wrong. He's a student of the Transcendent Academy, and he will become a pro hunter. Meanwhile, across the city, another hunter is dealing with her own monster problem. And it seems she's also struggling with her own academy, lamenting that she has no students and is just draining money. After the fight, she stands over the monster's corpse in the pouring rain, her face a mask of pure disgust. You can tell she absolutely hates this. 2 weeks later, CO Jun is discharged, having made a full recovery that baffled his doctors. But he returns to the same old leaky apartment. With the hunter test still a year away, his future feels completely uncertain. He pulls out his phone and completes his daily assignment. The app unlocks Chiron's next lesson, and a new, elven-eared instructor appears, mockingly congratulating him for finally being strong enough to take baby steps. To make ends meet, our boy has no choice but to go back to his old job. His foreman gives him hell for the accident, but CO Jun just has to suck it up and apologize. He's got no other options. Juggling his exhausting job during the day and Chiron's intense lessons at night, the pressure is immense. Curled up in his shipping container home, he feels completely overwhelmed and hopeless. Right then, Chiron's lesson begins. He explains that relying on the 5 senses is too slow for combat. He's going to teach CO Jun how to pare it down and rely on something faster, something dormant inside him. The next day at work, something incredible happens. He instinctively dodges a surprise attack from a coworker, moving so fast he doesn't even realize it himself. Could this be it? The sixth sense instinct. Getting a taste of this new power, our boy is more motivated than ever. He starts taking on heavier loads at work, turning his grueling job into a part of his training. He even discovers a hack. Adding weight makes his daily assignment progress faster. It's a total game changer. He's so hyped he starts volunteering to take on the heaviest loads for everyone. Besides his physical training, he decides to check out another free course. This one's taught by Xiang Yu, the legendary Chinese warlord, and it's called the Strength to Pluck a Mountain Technique. Now that sounds epic, and Xiang Yu does not disappoint. He pops up on screen, laughing, calling most applicants useless trash. He says he doesn't care for fancy moves. He's here to teach true, overwhelming strength. What a character. And of course, that means a new daily assignment. Swing a spear-type weapon 5,000 times. Our boy is just baffled. Throw out a few insults, and that's the lesson, he thinks. This academy is something else. Despite the weirdness, our boy sticks to his training day in and day out. While he's busy grinding at work, a B-rank hunter named Ceoyun Park arrives at his company for a routine safety inspection. And it turns out this Ceoyun Park is none other than the granddaughter of the legendary Sword Star. She's the one who started her own academy, but couldn't attract any students because she wasn't her famous grandfather. The story flashes back again to 100 years ago when the gates first opened, a time when humanity was struggling just to survive, when monsters roamed the streets freely. Back in the present, Ceoyun and her team are inspecting the facility. She makes a casual remark that it takes all kinds to work in a place like this. But tragedy often strikes when you least expect it. 100 years ago, the Sword Star and his comrades fought desperately against powerful monsters to protect humanity. In a brutal battle, he lost his closest friend, a pain that still haunts him to this day. Back to the present, Ceoyun arrives at an office, already the subject of whispers. Everyone is curious about the Sword Star's granddaughter and her hunter rank, but no one seems to care about her as a person. Turns out, she's lived her whole life in her grandfather's shadow. Her true passion is teaching, but she's trapped by her family's legacy. Starting her own academy was her attempt at a compromise. But reality is harsh. When people realized the legendary Sword Star wasn't the instructor, they all left disappointed. They only applied because of her name, not for her. The rejection is a bitter pill to swallow. And just then, disaster strikes. A ferocious monster breaks loose in the facility, and chaos erupts. It's a manticore, a 4-star threat that even pro-hunters struggle with. And it's got its sights set on our boy's co-worker. He's about to become Monster Chow. Someone needs to buy time until the pros arrive. Taking a deep breath, our boy knows it has to be him. He steels himself, remembering his training. Can't be nervous. Can't hesitate. In that critical moment, he taps into the strange state of mind from Siddhartha's lesson. The world around him seems to shift, becoming clearer. Xiang Yu's words echo in his mind. To pluck a mountain is not simply about strength. It's about force of spirit. Trust yourself completely. I can do it. No, I have to do it. With that conviction, he channels all his power, all his spirit, and unleashes it. The strength to pluck a mountain technique. With a massive crash, his simple pipe somehow blocks the manticore's deadly attack. Everyone on site is absolutely stunned. The sheer force of the impact sends him flying, but he did it. He actually saved someone from the claws of a 4-star monster. And right on cue, a notification pops up. After that life-or-death battle, his progress in all his courses has skyrocketed. Looks like there's no teacher like real-world experience. Meanwhile, the actual hunters finally arrive on the scene, and they are completely baffled. The woman is like, "What the hell happened here?" But her partner recognizes our boy. "Wait, that's just a hauling guy." When they realize he somehow took down the monster, they absolutely freak out, screaming for their boss as they make a run for it. Back with our hero, he's getting all the attention. The girl he saved is trying to drag him to a hospital, while the other guys are giving him a massive bear hug, just thrilled to be alive. The supervisor shows up, clearly impressed, but then he lays down the law. Nobody says a word about what happened here. Super suspicious. Later that day, after the dust settles and everyone's gone home, Seojun finally gets a moment to check his phone. And holy crap, his progress has absolutely skyrocketed. He's realizing one real fight is worth way more than hours of virtual lessons. But just as he's celebrating, another notification about the manticore pops up, and it looks like his day isn't over yet. He's just thinking about how he needs a temporary license to do dungeon raids when someone sneaks up on him. Lo and behold, it's the girl from the manticore incident. You can tell by her determined look she's here on business. Our boy immediately gets suspicious, thinking this has something to do with her being the Sword Star's granddaughter. And she cuts right to the chase, asking if he'll meet her grandfather. Our boy's response? A flat nah. He just turns and walks away, leaving her completely stunned. She tries to stop him, but he hits her with the ultimate excuse. "I gotta go home and do my homework." Classic. But as he walks away, the regret immediately sinks in. A chance to meet the Sword Star? Even pro hunters would kill for that opportunity. He can't let it slip away. Meanwhile, the girl thinks she's lost him for good and desperately rushes to catch up. She gets extra desperate and plays her trump card. Her academy is government approved and can issue him the temporary license he needs. Now that gets his attention. He pauses for a second, and she immediately launches into her full sales pitch, not giving him a chance to say no. So here's the deal she offers. Until he passes the Pro Hunter exam, he has to participate in all activities under her academy's name. Basically, he becomes her star student. Our boy thinks it over, and honestly, it's a pretty sweet offer. It solves all his problems at once. The benefits definitely outweigh the costs. And just like that, they strike a deal. He introduces himself as Seo-jun Kim. She introduces herself as Park, and they shake on it. They both have a feeling this partnership is going to work out perfectly. She needs a prodigy, and he needs a platform. It's a win-win. The very next day, Seo-jun gets a call from Manchul. Turns out, that little complaint he made about the untrustworthy supervisor actually worked. The company fired the guy and brought in someone new. Talk about results. Meanwhile, Park is proving to be incredibly efficient herself. Seo-jun shows up at her Dream Hunter Academy, and she's already got his temporary hunter license ready to go. Holding in his hand, our boy feels a surge of determination. This is it, the first real step on his journey. And she's not wasting any time. After a quick stop at the armory, she drops a bombshell. She's already reserved a private dungeon for him. Talk about VIP treatment. It's time for some one-on-one, real-world training. The moment they step inside, they're greeted by a tiny rat monster. Seo-jun's a bit confused, but Park explains that since it's his first time, she has to accompany him. She calls it one-on-one tutoring for an elite student. What an honor, though it's clearly just a precaution. They soon encounter the local residents, kobolds. These two-star threats are perfect for a beginner to get some real combat experience. Park give him a quick tutorial on how to pierce their shield magic, and right on cue, one of them charges. Watch out. The lesson is officially underway. And it turns out our boy is a natural. With a swift slash, the kobold goes down. The system dings, and look at that. All his course progress bars shoot up again. He can't help but cheer. This is way more effective than any simulation. Park is just standing there, completely astonished by his performance. Meanwhile, Seo-jun is having the time of his life. He realizes dungeon grinding is just like leveling up in a game, but with the added bonus of making real money. He is hooked. But after the raid, something weird happens. Seo-jun just sits there, staring intently at his blank phone screen. Park is confused, asking what he's looking at. He's like, "You can't see this," and then, out of nowhere, crack. The screen shatters. A cracked screen won't stop our boy, though. He handles his first raid cleanup like a seasoned pro. To save some cash, he even hauls the monster corpses himself, all while doing his weird, special training exercises. The onlookers are just stunned. This guy is something else. And all that hard work pays off big time. Seo-jun checks his bank account and sees over 9.5 million won. Wow, all that messy work was definitely worth it. He thinks about bringing the reliable Manchul along next time to share the profits. But for now, the big question is what to do with all this cash. Raiding and making money is great, but Seo-jun feels like his course progress is still too slow. He's hungry for more power, wanting to become as strong as the legendary warriors in the Transcendent Academy, as strong as the Monkey King. There has to be a faster way. And speak of the devil, a notification for a new course pops up on his phone, a staff and spear class taught by the Monkey King himself. Seo-jun's heart starts pounding. He'd seen this course before, but never had the money to even consider it. But now things are different. His excitement quickly turns to absolute shock when he sees the price tag. 27 billion won. What? Even a pro hunter couldn't afford that. Looks like the Monkey King's lessons will have to wait. Disappointed, he decides to check out the equipment marketplace instead. And what he finds there is mind-blowing. The marketplace is selling replicas of mythical items like the Spear of Longinus. Replicas or not, these are items crafted by Transcendence. This is insane. Without a second thought, Seo-jun decides he needs to grab one for himself right now. He hits purchase, and the system calculates a price based on his karma. Success. He's now the proud owner of a replica Spear of Longinus. Meanwhile, back at the academy, Park is watching his stats during a physical test, and they are skyrocketing so fast she can't even keep count. What is going on? Park finds Seo-jun and officially asks him to represent Dream Academy in an upcoming tournament. The moment he hears the word tournament, his eyes light up. This is just another way to grind out experience. He agrees on the spot, much to Park's surprise. She didn't expect it to be that easy. To prepare for the tournament, he needs a sparring partner. And who better than the Sword Star's granddaughter right in front of him? He asks her for a match, and she's completely taken aback by his straightforward request. Park seems a bit flustered, wondering what she's getting into, but her battle instincts take over as she summons multiple swords. Truth is, she's been dying to know how strong he really is. Our boy is just as excited. The tension is electric as they prepare to face off. The spar begins. Seo Jun asks her to go easy on him, but his stance says he's ready for anything. Park tells him to make the first move, and in an instant they clash. The room fills with the sound of their weapons meeting in a flurry of motion. As expected from a sword star's granddaughter, her skills are on another level. She reads his attacks perfectly, calling them too obvious as she easily parries his clumsy strikes. She notes that while he's fast, his footwork is a mess. Looks like our boy still has a lot to learn. Park recalls his performance in the Cobalt dungeon. It was impressive, for sure, but she knows those simple attacks won't work on her. Deciding she's seen enough, she thinks it's time to end this. A powerful aura erupts around her as she prepares to finish the fight. "It's over," she declares, lunging forward with incredible speed. With a loud crack, Seojin's staff shatters. It looks like this is the end of the match. Or is it? In a split-second reaction, our boy manages to block her blade with the broken piece of his staff. But how? Even Park is shocked. Her sword should be at his neck right now. Something isn't right. Pinned to the ground, Seo Jun wipes the sweat from his brow, a grin spreading across his face. He chuckles, pushing himself back up. The look in his eyes has completely changed. "My turn to not hold back." And just like that, the tables have turned. Seo Jun declares that it's his turn to get serious. And suddenly, something flips. His attacks become impossibly faster and sharper. Park is stunned, wondering what just happened. It's like she's fighting a completely different person. It turns out our boy has a secret weapon. Live coaching from his Transcendent Academy instructors. As his eyes glow blue, he's getting an earful from his virtual mentor. "Make your attacks obvious. Not like that. Mix it up. Do some fake outs." The scolding is real. Under this intense mental training, Seojin's fighting style begins to evolve in real time. The instructor's voice echoes in his head. Use their own predictability against them. Go for the obvious attack to get an obvious defense. He's learning to fight smarter, not just harder. The lesson continues. Then use the recoil to string the next attack. Keep at it until they're caught off guard. Following the guidance, Seojin's movements become a seamless chain of attacks, putting immense pressure on Park. Just as the fight reaches its peak, disaster strikes. With a massive crash, the wall of the training room is completely blown out. Everyone freezes. What the hell was that? Turns out, our boy has been training for the tournament a little too hard. He's tossing around massive weights and completely wrecking Park's academy in the process. She's screaming at him to stop, but he just casually replies, "Man, this isn't that heavy." The audacity. With 100 million won on the line, Seo Jun is giving it his all, even lifting massive boulders in the yard. Park is initially shocked, but can't help but smile at his dedication. Whatever it takes, right? Our boy is fired up, screaming, "That 100 million is mine." Finally, it's tournament day. Seojin's new friend, let's call him Glasses, is also competing. He stands outside the arena, feeling the pre-match jitters. The crowd is buzzing with excitement. It's not every day you get to see hunters battle each other. The second Glasses steps into the waiting room. He's immediately intimidated. The place is packed with huge, well-equipped guys who look like they eat nails for breakfast. The confidence radiating from them is overwhelming, and he starts to feel seriously out of his league. Then he spots a familiar face, Seo Jun, sitting quietly in the corner, looking at his phone. The other contestants are openly mocking him, making fun of his simple staff. Seeing Seo Jun trying to blend in reminds Glasses of his own lonely first days at the academy. Glasses decides to be friendly and starts giving Seo Jun the rundown on the top contenders. But their chat is cut short by a red-haired guy, Junwon Lee from Revenant Academy, who coldly tells them their yapping is annoying. Definitely not a friendly dude. The gossip continues, and they start talking about the Sword Star's granddaughter, Seoyeon. The moment Seo Jun hears her name, his ears perk up. Apparently, she tried to recruit that same red-haired guy, but he turned her down. The plot thickens. Listening in, the red-haired guy starts fuming. He's regretting his decision, thinking he should have accepted Soyeon's offer, gotten what he could from her, and then bailed. We see a flashback of her handing him a Dream Academy flyer, which he arrogantly dismissed. Too bad, so sad. Junwon redirects his anger towards Seo Jun, sneering at him. Just then, the announcement for the first round echoes through the hall. The pressure is too much for poor Glasses, who gets knocked over by the sheer intensity of the moment before he even gets to fight. As the contestants head to the arena, Seo Jun steels himself. The others may be more experienced, but he's got the training of the Transcendent Academy on his side. He feels ready to take on any monster, any opponent. Clenching his fist, he makes a mad dash for the dungeon maze entrance, shouting, "Prize money, here I come." But the moment he's inside, standing alone under a spotlight, the bravado fades. The challenge has truly begun. Meanwhile, the stadium is roaring with excitement as round one of the tournament officially begins. In the stands, some big shot is complaining about his crappy seats, but he seems to know someone important, giving a nod to a person in a white cap nearby. The rules for the first round are announced. Escape the maze. Attacking other students is forbidden. The goal is simply to get out, and rumor has it that monsters inside might drop items to help. The crowd is going wild, ready for the action to start. Back in the crowd, everyone's buzzing about the red-haired guy, Junwon. They can tell he's on a whole other level. But the girl in the white cap, who we now know as Seo-yun, is worried. Why is he here? She wonders, her thoughts quickly turning to Seo-jun, hoping he's doing okay. Inside the maze, our boy Seo-jun is trying to figure out a strategy. He remembers the myth of Theseus and the Minotaur and decides to go with the classic keep one hand on the wall technique. He knows it's the slow way out, but it's better than running around aimlessly. He picks the left wall and starts walking. But it's not long before a strange feeling washes over him, making him freeze in his tracks. Something is off. Suddenly, Glasses comes barreling around the corner, nearly crashing into him. He warns Seo-jun to be careful of monsters, but then he notices how confidently our boy is moving. He can't help but wonder, does he know something I don't? Glasses starts giving unsolicited advice, telling Seo-jun it's dangerous to wander alone and that the weak should stick together. Our boy is just baffled by this, thinking, do I really look that weak? The whole interaction is just hilariously awkward. Trying to bond, Glasses even pulls out a photo of his little sister, saying she's his motivation. Seo-jun is completely uninterested and just walks away, leaving Glasses to sob on the floor. Despite finding him annoying, Seo-jun admits his explanations can be helpful and begrudgingly lets him tag along. Glasses launches into another long-winded explanation, getting so carried away that he accidentally kicks up a huge cloud of dust with his weapon. He immediately gets embarrassed, thinking he's oversharing and making Seo-jun uncomfortable again. Our boy has finally had enough. He tells Glasses that the prize money is his and that he should stop following him. With that, he walks off, but Glasses isn't having it. Fired up, he chases after him, determined to prove him wrong. Glasses chases him all the way to a dead end, thinking he's finally cornered him. But Seo-jun wasn't running. He was leading him to a hidden door. He slides it open and drops through, leaving a stunned Glasses behind. The next thing you know, the arena announcer screams, the first contestant has escaped the maze. The time displayed is an unbelievable 27 minutes and 12 seconds, shattering the previous record. The crowd goes insane. Seo-yun gasps, a look of shock on her face. She knows it has to be Seo-jun. After the round ends, Glasses catches up with Seo-jun, and they form a temporary alliance. But everyone around them is buzzing about the results. Nobody's ever heard of Dream Academy, and they're all dismissing Seo-jun's record-breaking time as a fluke, some even suspecting foul play. And of course, the most pissed off of all is the red-haired guy, Junwon. He's giving Seo-jun a death glare from across the room. Our boy tries to play it cool, but you can tell he's nervous. An instant rivalry is born. Soon after, the rules for the next round are explained. One-on-one combat. There are some nitpicky details like no magic weapons allowed, but magic-enhanced physical attacks are fair game. The students start discussing the finer points. Just as the official is about to announce the tournament brackets, Seo-yun and her companions sneak into the venue. They're clearly trying to avoid being noticed, moving with extreme caution. They get a look at the brackets and the betting odds, and Seo-yun is confused. It seems her opponent forfeited, and the odds on Seo-jun are astronomically high, meaning everyone thinks he's going to lose. It's not just the bookies. Everyone is gossiping about Seo-jun Kim from the nobody school called Dream, convinced he just got lucky. Seo-yun looks concerned hearing all this. Our boy, however, just finds the whole situation boring. Before the second round even begins, a wave of forfeits sweeps through the contestants. Everyone knows the major academies dominate this tournament. And with a monster like Junwon Lee in the running, nobody wants to risk serious injury just to be a stepping stone for the favorites. And just like that, the massive pool of contestants dwindles down to only 5. The matchups are set, and Seo-jun's first opponent is revealed, Deokcheol Jang, the axe giant from Quail Academy. Looking at the brackets, Glasses naively asks Seo-jun if winning this one match means he wins the whole thing. He gets a hard slap on the head for his troubles, bringing tears to his eyes. The guy who hit him scoffs at the idea of planning for the finals before the first fight has even started. Finally, It's Seojin's turn. He walks confidently towards the arena, wondering how many experience points he'll get out of this. He shouts back to Glasses, "I'll be back." My prize money calls, leaving his friend to wonder if he's okay in the head. The crowd roars as the final contenders are introduced. The announcer hypes up Seojun as the new record holder for the dungeon maze. Our boy gives a little wave to the crowd, secretly wondering if Seoyun is watching. His opponent, the axe giant Deokcheol Jang, makes his entrance, looking more than ready for a fight. And the match begins. The axe giant laughs maniacally and charges, yelling that he'll show Seojun what happens when your luck runs out. Our boy calmly takes his stance, his expression firm and ready. He's not backing down. Back in the waiting area, Glasses is trembling. Looking at the remaining powerhouses like Junwon and Deokcheol, all from famous academies, he feels like a nobody with no chance. He considers forfeiting, but his companion reminds him, "You'll never know what can happen unless you give it your all." And before anyone can even blink, it's over. The announcer screams that the unbelievable has happened. The winner is Seojun Kim from Dream Academy. The axe giant is out cold on the floor. The entire stadium, especially Glasses, is in a state of utter shock. Seojun's victory has thoroughly enraged Junwon. He turns his terrifying, murderous glare on the next person in line. Poor Glasses. Our guy is so scared he can barely speak, just swallowing hard. He is in big trouble now.